Yes, it's another edition of Matters Rising on BCOS television, like the retribution right here in the city of Ibadan. And yes, Matters Rising has to do with those treating stories, making the rounds, topics, doing the rounds across the country, talking about the economy, talking about agriculture, health, academics, politics, and also the international, sectors of the world at large. And yes, today, and like you know, there has been guests that will analyze some stories here, some topics that will dish out to you. And of course, today we are just analyzing. Yes, we are X-raying the Ekiti governorship polls, that was held on Saturday. And the results have been, have been announced. And yes, the chairman, the chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission, the REC, had announced the incumbent, Mr. Uyebanji, as governorship election. Governorship, as new governor, incumbent governor has been announced, governor again, re-announced. Let's just see that. And of course, I have in the house today, I'm talking about Honorable Okpeyemi Akiade, Chairman, IPAC, Oyo State Chapter, and Honorable Femi Josiah, political analyst. Yes, he's here. You're very much welcome, Honorable Femi Josiah.
Good afternoon.
Yes,
thanks for inviting me.
Yes, and we are still expecting Honorable Okpeyemi Akiade. And, well, let's see, I want to just go through some excerpts here, talking about the elections, some excerpts. Ekiti elections. Yes, I want to welcome Honorable Okpeyemi Akiade, Chairman, Inter-Party Advisory Council. Yes, Oyo State Chapter. Yes, is here now. And yes, let's just kick off with some excerpts of what really happened at during the elections and the aftermath. And well, some of the fallouts. Ekiti election, one injured as APC ADC supporters clash over alleged vote buying. And Ekiti election, Oluyede reports Beaver's failure to INEC. I think that is the opposition alleges vote buying, express confidence in INEC's capability. Well, other ones here, Ekiti election, Oluyede reports Beaver's failure to INEC. Yes, I said that earlier. And Uyebanji comments INEC security agencies after casting vote in Ikogosi. And, well, Mr. Uyebanji was, however, declared winner on Sunday in Ado-Ekiti, the state capital, after securing a decisive majority vote across the 16 local government areas of the state. And, well, the full results was, well, announced on Sunday. Now, let me just ask, I know Honorable Okpeyemi Akiade, Inter-Party Advisory Council, you must have made your researches and findings and all those. Now, the Ekiti election has been described as a litmus test towards the 2027 general elections. And, well, from an IPAC perspective, how credible was the electoral process?
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon, the viewers. Good afternoon, everywhere. You see, I want to believe that election process is a gradual process in Nigeria, which I believe one day we'll definitely get to wherever we are. We believe is where we play a platform in Nigeria. Well, the Ekiti election, if you ask me what I can say about it, apart from being an IPAC chairman in Oyo State, I will say that, one, we are getting there gradually. The reason why I say that is, if you look at the flaws in Nigeria elections, you realize that what we had, the flaws we had in Ekiti is a bit minimal than before, which I believe by 2027 general election, I believe the flop that might come up after the election might even smaller than the one we experienced in Ekiti. According to what you just read now, that the opposition party, the PDP candidate, alleged INEC that in his own polling booth, the BCOS was somehow disappointed. Well, I want to be like 2 weeks ago when I had a conversation with the Resident Electoral Commissioner of Oyo State here, I asked him pertaining to Ekiti State election, which he gave an assurance that all the materials that are supposed to be supplied. Well, I want to believe the BCOS is a machine. Maybe intentionally or not intentionally. The machine might develop fault at any fucking time.
But being manned by a human.
Yes, but what I believe is we have minimal reports towards that. And if you look at it vividly, on Saturday when I called the IPAC chairman over there and some my party persons over there, they said people really turn out for the election. Unlike before, it's not like that. So if we can see, you see that we are getting there gradually, which I believe by God's grace, by 2027, we will record something of such that we have a free, fair election and have a record of minimal election crisis.
Okay. And Honorable Olufemi Josiah, you said, INEC, the Independent National Electoral Commission, says you declared that 319,224 votes were declared for the APC against 40,543 the PDP. That kind of margin, 278,681 vote margin mean in Ekiti, in a state like Ekiti State?
Well, the outcome of the election implies a landslide victory for the incumbent governor because he won in all the 16 local governments of the state.
Yes.
And by my own estimation, he won close to between 70 to 80% of the total vote cast. Having said that, can we not necessarily say the process was credible? By global best practice, it wasn't. And these are my reasons. We have reports of people without voters card voting, even though we credit INEC for early deployment of materials, because voting and accreditation started at the right time. But the process itself was flawed with a lot of irregularities. According to Yaga Africa, one of the key observers in the election, in some of the reports I read, about 14% of the samples across the state of the voting centers that was voting without voters cards. That INEC even allowed that is a criminal offense. It's not a civil offense. Because you are not supposed to vote without voters card.
Sure.
What is the essence of the bimodal voters accreditation system, the BCOS? Why did the government spend billions to acquire those machines? It is one thing for the machine to malfunction, but allowing people to bypass the electoral protocol and vote is a criminal offense. And 14% sample statistically is not right. That error is not acceptable for me. And I don't think PDP as a party should accept it. In places where BCOS were even used, it was reported that about 10% of the sample that was done, the BCOS didn't work. Now, it is not left for those in opposition to sit down, get statisticians, and find out if these irregularities could actually have affected the outcome of the election. There was also credible incidences of vote buying, particularly from the ruling party. If the evidences are substantial, I will want to advise, because I heard the PDP candidate said the results were not accepted. But from what I saw in Ekiti, even with the irregularities that were observed, the APC prepared more for the election. Whether they rigged it or not, they did a systemic approach to winning the election. It's not easy for a party to win 16 local governments and almost 170,000 wards. 170 wards.
What about the power of incumbency?
No, not that about it. I have checked the rating of that governor. It's well rated. But rating is not enough to win the election if the opposition is strong and if they are on ground. But don't forget that PDP in the state have been sold out. Because the so-called leader, Ayocha Oshe, who claimed to be a PDP member, is not acting like a PDP member. The Bible says, by their fruits you shall know them. You cannot, there's nothing wrong crediting opposition or a government of the day if they have done well. But that is not to say you should sell out your party. I want to believe Ayocha Oshe voted for APC. He came out on TV and said he's one of the people that the governor might have performed. But could that have been the best for Ekiti State? Does it mean we could not get a better deal from other political parties for Ekiti people? And there's a saying in the game of power that strike the shepherd, the sheep will scatter. Ayocha Oshe is the biggest PDP member in Ekiti State on paper.
Yes.
A 2-time governor. A presidential aspirant. Are you getting what I'm saying? Who openly canvass for the incumbent. What message are you passing to the people of the state? That there is no need for change.
But it is not only former Governor Ayoshi that embarked on that. What about Wike, Yesom Wike?
We are even talking about Ekiti here.
No, I'm just saying that they are
no,
the
Wike
same
cases, they are in the same clan, doing anti-party. So in a situation where the so-called leader of a party was already taking position against the interests of his party, what message are you passing to the electorate? That there is no need voting for us. So I'm not surprised by the outcome of the result. However, all the irregularities that were observed are not good signs for future elections. Because in a situation where about 14% sample of the voting centers were recorded that people voted without card. I mean, why should that happen? That could have contributed. If they voted without card, it is obvious they voted for the incumbent. Why did INEC allow that?
But were there evidences?
Young Africa said the report. They were accredited observer by INEC themselves. So it's not for INEC to defend it or for the losers to challenge that. Because 14% sampling could alter the outcome of the election. That is huge. 10% sampling of malfunctioning beavers could alter the outcome of the election. But the margin of victory is so huge that it should be difficult, in my own view, for the PDP candidate and ADC candidate to challenge the election unless they can scientifically prove it that those irregularities affected the outcome of the election.
Okay. Honorable Akinade, do you believe the Ekiti polls reflect a genuinely level playing field among political parties?
I want to believe that it is genuinely created a level playing ground for all the political parties. But I would like to support what my partner here just said, that the irregularities in Ekiti State, even if it's going to be challenged, do they have what it takes to challenge it? Then we all know that APC and PDP in past elections, they are rivals at Ekiti. Does PDP really be a rival to the APC there? No. And what caused all this was just because some of the party leaders have sold out the party. Even to me, I want to believe that in 2027 general election, I don't expect PDP to be the major opposition party anymore. Yes. You know, the internal crisis, that is why sometimes I do always say, whenever, there's no any party that cannot have any internal crisis. If you have an internal crisis, we do always tell them as an IPAC, come, this is your internal crisis, don't let it go beyond control. Manage your crisis within your house. Because if you allow it to escalate it, by the time you think you want to curb it, it won't be able to come by your hands anymore. So I want to believe that this has affected the PDP in Ekiti State, which, well,
in fact, the PDP in the whole country.
And that the reason why I mentioned Ekiti State was just because we just concluded the election over there, and that is why I even said maybe in 2027 I have not seen PDP as big as they had before, but they still have time, and not even PDP alone. Other political parties, they still have time. If we can remember vividly, I think there are some certain things they map out when election is very close by coming together for like 2-3 political parties to form a suitable and a credible opposition party. Maybe if they have that kind of alliance, maybe the APC might be challenged even at the presidential election. But as it is, you realize that the game that APC have been playing, they have been telling Nigerians that, see, 2027, we are the one that's going to win it. If you remember when they had their primary, the presidential primary, APC have claimed that they have about 11 point something million members. It's not the primary result that we're supposed to be look after. We should be looking after 2027 general election with that result. And I think the total election we had in 2023 was 25 million or so.
24.5.
Okay, now 24.5. You can imagine when APC alone said they have in their primary, which means their membership, they had up to 11 million out of 24 point something million. I don't know whether you get my point around that. So I want to believe, like I've said earlier, that 2027 general election, in presidential election, I personally have not seen any changes that might come through it. But in an election always comes when it's close by, maybe 2 to 3 weeks. If you look at it, there are some changes, there are some moves that is going on now, but you can't feel it, you can't see it. Only few people that can feel it, that can see it for now. But when it's getting closer to the election day, you see that there are some moves that have been going on underground will be coming out. Then, maybe by then, we might have a strong opposition party that will challenge the APC, which I pray for. Because that's the best thing for our nation. That's the best thing for our nation. If APC did not come when President Buhari came in on board in 2015, should I say PDP is supposed to be the one in control till now? No. We need a strong opposition party that will challenge what the present government is doing. Though they are trying their best, but on the other hand, all their strategic plannings are seriously not, it's not really, seriously not palatable with Nigerians. It's not really palatable with Nigerians.
Well, yes, Honorable Josiah, somebody is asking me here. Yes, let me just quote the question. In 2022, Oyebanji got 1,887,057 votes. He added over 132,000 votes this time. Where did those votes, extra votes, come from? I was thinking, within me, people that were, since 2022, there are people that were...
Voters register is almost about 1 million or so.
Yes.
Voted is not up to 40% of the registered voters. That is a failure now, if I have to mark it academically. So we wouldn't know if more people have come out to vote. Don't forget that the state is more like a civil service state,
Yes.
and an agrarian area. And you don't expect the civil servant not to vote in a governor who doesn't owe their salary for the second time, or the pensioners. And let me tell you, in the civil service state, they control the market, because when they collect salary,
Yes.
the traders will make more money. So you don't expect the governor not to have an advantage from there. And don't forget also that in his first term, he was coming in for the first time. It was almost agreed on, because I learned he was a former member of the State Assembly before he became a governor. So for somebody like that, power of incumbency, he must have touched the life of a lot of people. He controls all the instruments of governance, including security apparatus within the state, control the community development associations, and I learned he's a very humble man. Has a great rapport with former governors. And when I mean great rapport with people like Fayose, it's money. It's not respect. So he's taking care of them. And you see, your Bible will say something, Ojuati. And when people are eating dodo, don't expect them to say the truth.
Yeah.
So even if the guy has fault, the way he's going about relating with people who naturally be his enemies, or opponents, if I use that word, he has weakened them. Because Fayose is not a man you can easily buy over. A lot must have gone under, a lot of water must have passed under the bridge. And for a man like that to sell his party, I mean, I'm not accusing him. He said it openly himself. I have the videos. All the videos are online. So you don't expect Oyebanji not to have gotten a lot of votes, even from political basis, outside the APC, transferred to him. Now, for me, my fear is this, and this is a message to the opposition leaders. Power is not serve a la carte. Even if a government is not performing, if you don't aggregate your effort, it's difficult to chase away an incumbent government.
Yes.
Or government. Like all the noise they're making on your state, Seyi Makinde candidate will win because of his performance rating. People are not stupid. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you need to bring somebody with a strong personality that he must have excelled in another field globally. Then for people to say, let's try this. But you cannot bring mediocrity to challenge an existing performing system, and you think you can change this. And I think that was what happened in Ekiti. So for me, the opposition can do better. Why are you even splitting your vote? PDP scored 40,000. ADC scored 12,000. Maybe if they are come together, their forces could have passed a stronger message to Ekiti people. And all those useless mushroom parties, why are you having a party that you are not likely to ever use to even get the councillorship of a ward? So for me, they're just doing business, waiting for a problem to happen in the major parties so that they can be bought over. Or maybe there is some money they get from INEC. Do you people get money for INEC?
I don't think so.
No. Not at all.
So.
And so what's the essence of registering a political party and you are not proactive? It really makes no sense, because if you add all the votes the other party gets, it's still not up to Oyebanji's vote. So can we have a major opposition where everybody will, convene? Then there are other things that INEC did not get right. INEC accredited 14 political parties. In the result they publish, there are 15 political parties there. On the ballot paper, there were 19 political parties. I want to say and accuse INEC that it was deliberate. If you print ballot paper and you see error, must you use the ballot paper? So what message are they passing over to Nigeria so that they can weaken the vote of the opposition? And this is an issue that can be challenged in court. We have instances whereby logo of political parties were missing on ballot paper and the court cancelled the election. they had to take the election again. So can we have a case where parties that are not accredited, their logos appear on the paper? Who committed that error? Well, is anybody being sanctioned for that? These are issues that we do in this country and we let them go. And you expect the system to improve. Just like the other time in 2023, where INEC told us that the IREB malfunction, and you went ahead to declare winner. So what was the purpose of spending billions of naira to put that technology in place? Thank God that IREB did malfunction in the kitchen. And after the election, there is no report, no research. Who tried to hack INEC? We won't add anything. So I'm saying it on TV. INEC lied to Nigerians. And Nigerians and political parties must forestall that nonsense in the future. Because you can't just give us an information as important as that without following up with credibility. And you accept us to accept it. You expect us to accept it just on the face value. We cannot continue to tolerate these irregularities. They might look minor to a lot of people, but they could alter the outcome of the process. And for me, the process of any system is more important than the outcome. Because the essence of having a credible process is to have a credible outcome. Once the process is faulty, the outcome cannot give good results. And that's why Nigeria will remain the way we are, unless we change the system.
Well, Honorable Akinade, I wanted to ask about the PDP, the votes that dropped from about 67,000 votes, I think, 2022 to now 40,000 now. Well, is this party, is it a party collapse?
Well, the party has collapsed already. They are just trying to getting themselves back to feet. They have collapsed already. And if you look at it vividly, part of where they've collapsed is what my colleague just mentioned now, that how could INEC tell the Nigerians, tell the Ekiti people that they acknowledge 14 political parties?
And 15 appeared on the ballot paper.
Why 15? Accredited 14.
19
appeared on the results.
On the ballot paper.
On the ballot paper.
On the results.
You see, I don't know. The fault is from INEC, but also from the political parties. If APC want to use that to manipulate the election, why other political party cannot say something about it? They must have been called to check all the election materials before the election. So that is where I will fault other political parties there in Ekiti. It can't happen here in Oyo State.
Their leaders have sought that now.
It can't happen here in Oyo State. Because before the election, once the election materials was being brought in, they brought everything down to the CBN for maximum security. We check to the extent of the ballot numbers that is going to each local government, to each ward, to each polling unit. So definitely something is fishing around there. So to PDP, their newborn baby started crawling, I think. You can't expect what PDP of yesterday did from the PDP of today.
Yes.
The PDP era of Wike and Fayose in Ekiti. You can't expect them to do more than that for now.
One recurring criticism is that opposition parties often struggle, like both of you had mentioned somehow, often struggle against the structural advantages enjoyed by ruling parties. And what practical reforms do you think can strengthen political
in some aspects?
Competition?
I disagree with that in some aspects. You see, the reason why I said I disagree with that is presently here in Nigeria today we have 22 political parties. And here in Oyo State we have 21. Where PDP, okay, for example now, if we have that kind of an election, okay, they had by-election in Rivers State.
Yes.
Who won? PDP.
PDP won.
Definitely it shows that till tomorrow, PDP is still stronger than any other political party in Rivers State. Why other political parties have where they have their strengths? They might not have that strength all over the nation, but they have where they have their strength. That is why I said I disagree with that. Here in Oyo State, before our governor joined the APM, he is a member of PDP. If Governor Seyi Makinde have never seen something better in APM, I'm very sure that he won't have chosen APM as his next party to be. So, in a nutshell, it means that maybe you have seen where APM, you have seen their strongness in somewhere else, not even if not Oyo State. That is why he decided to join the party. Whereas we have other political party before he decided to join the APM. And all his people followed him down to the APM, making the party stronger. Now, come 2027, will you say APM is just a political party? If you are saying that in other states, it can't be saying in Oyo State presently. So that is why I said each political party have where they have their own strongholds. It might be where we don't know, it might be where I don't know, but somewhere else, if not, if they are not credible, if they doesn't have any stronghold somewhere, I want to believe that INEC does not ready to waste money up to this tax. They will have directly or indirectly they registered, but because they have one stronghold or the other somewhere else, we might not know.
Josiah, you wanted to say something about that.
Well, for me, we are of the PDP stock. It's not as if we have joined APM like he said.
Yeah, I think it was a coalition.
We have a coalition with APM. We are an alliance. And what informed the alliance is because of the crisis in PDP and the way INEC and judiciary, the way they're going about the crisis. It is clear that there are vested interest to make sure that the party does not come out of the crisis. And you know, when there's what we call a war of attrition, it's like PDP is going through a war of attrition. And war of attrition don't end easily. It usually consumes the actors. Whether you're on the winning side or the losing side,
Cold War.
it will consume everybody. And you see, for us not to be consumed, it is better to look for a platform that is crisis-free, that the ruling party at the center has shown no interest. You see, we beat them to the game. Like my God. If you think you are smart, you want to make sure not to be able to appear on the ballot. What matters is the structure of the party, not the name of the party. You can destroy the name of the party, but you can never succeed in destroying the structure of the party as long as the leadership is proactive. Unlike we have in the Kitchen Rivers, where the leaders there have sold out. You see, leadership is key, it's very important. We are lucky in Oyo State where we have a leader who wants to make sure the structure does not die, who has not traded the structure. And the safest thing for us to do was to do for a corridor where you can have a passage into the next election. And our safe corridor is APM. Your terms. In terms of basic ideology, there is some similarity between us and APM. Do you understand? So it was a choice made by the leadership of the party. And that is the party under which all our candidates are contesting. APM might not have PDP structure, but APM is crisis-free.
Yes.
PDP has the structure. So it's a combination. So if you can beat one, you can't beat two. And the Bible says two can defeat how many? 10,000. One can defeat 1,000. And that's the strategy we have used. So we are not scared here. We are more than prepared to go into the next election in Oyo State. Now, like he observed, you asked the question that is this a pointer to what's to come in future election? Ekiti is an isolated case. It's one of the smallest states in Nigeria. The total vote in Ekiti State is not even more than 500. But at least it is likely to go the direction of APC in 2027. Because I don't know the magic. Unless there is a major catastrophe, which we don't pray for, that will alter the game in Ekiti. Having said this, Ekiti is also one of the strongholds of APC in Nigeria. So it's unfortunate that our party leaders, they have sold out. So we wouldn't expect much there. So in Ekiti, we'll be defending in the next election. We have accepted that. But in Oyo, there won't be anything like that. And in so many other states, I can assure you. Then you see, people don't determine where they vote based on the popularity or structure of a party. A lot of factors, the performance of the current leadership of APC at the national level will influence the general election.
Yes.
Ekiti case is an isolated election where they mobilize all the strength of the national strength of APC
Yes.
to the state.
Yes.
You can imagine the number of policemen that were deployed there. So the election went on peacefully. But in a general election where the president will be in Bodilum, Wike will be in Obiakpo, everybody will be so let's see how they will use the federal might to be able to alter the outcome of the election. So, and you see the performance of the current government at the same time, my own view, has become very woeful.
But do you think this incumbent, Tinubu's administration, do you think there is a kind of, influence, that made the APC win this election in Ekiti State?
Tinubu had no influence in what happened in Ekiti. Ekiti people just made up their mind to vote for APC. If it's Tinubu's performance, Oyebanji wouldn't win. I think Oyebanji won on his own merit,
yes,
apart from the irregularities that were observed. So, at the national level, on all metrics, security, people's welfare, yeah, there are activities, but people should stop equating activities to performance. Every government will have activity. What are the outcomes? For example, I read somewhere that under Oyebanji, Ekiti has the second highest school enrollment. That's a serious performance.
Yes.
Because to improve the school enrollment, that means you've improved employment in education. You've improved infrastructure in education because the student will not sit under the tree. I read that under infant mortality has reduced by 50%. Those are the kind of metrics that can determine whether a system has performed. Are you getting what I'm saying? And these are micro indices, not macro, not vague information that you tell us you have achieved this. This Fitch rating, we cannot feel it. It's nonsense. You get what I'm saying? So all microeconomic, socioeconomic indices which affects the people. If Tinubu government is to be the major determinant of any election, APC will not win, unless they rig. And if they try it, they will meet Nigerians.
Yes. Sure. Honorable Akinade, what lessons can be learned? Yes. Political parties, that's what I'm trying to say, from the performance of both the major and smaller parties in the Ekiti elections.
Yes. To the political parties, I would like to let them realize that they are not there to collect money from the ruling party. They shouldn't have it at the back of their mind that they must sell out their party. there are some certain things that the whole Nigerians as an obligation that they must ready to perform. For example, like what I've said earlier about the issue in Ekiti State that they have accredited 14 political parties, while later about 19 political parties on the results, on the ballot. So this thing is not the duty of masses, it is the duty of the political managers, the managers of each political party. They should have a representative that will represent them and fight for their rights when it comes to that kind of a thing. For example, now if we are seeing someone that represents any party and challenge the abnormalities in the election materials, this kind of result won't have come out. Yes. Maybe the election might have even postponed
to correct
the abnormalities. So to the political parties, I believe they have a lot of obligations that the whole Nigerians, which I am advising them that they should please, for us to have a free, fair election, to have free, fair election, let me use that word, in 2027, there are obligations that might be put in place by political parties. And to every Nigerians too, they also have obligations within ourselves. Their own obligation is they should not try to be part of any voter party, like buying and selling of votes. Even if any political party comes to you that, come, how much do you sell? How much are you ready to sell your vote? Let them realize that your vote is not made for sale. It's your national right that have to perform with a sensible manner. Because if you said you want, no amount of money that can be given to you that will last longer up to a week, talk less of another 4 good years.
But people don't realize that.
And that is why we have to be continue talking about it.
Yes, of what they
that want. That is like NOAA, National Orientation Agency. They used to campaign against any voter apathy. Our people should try to wake up.
Voter apathy, buying of votes.
Yes, buying of vote is what is killing our democracy. Let it be okay, like what our honorable just said. If federal might have want to be used in Ekiti State, I want to believe that Ibanji will have lose out. But because of his own skill, the administrative work he did in Ekiti State, the people of Ekiti State believe that yes, is the best candidate for them to choose as their next governor for another 4 years. Like he said, Ekiti State is
civil
servant state.
And agrarian area.
Yes. Okay, definitely in the first term, he performed excellently for the civil servants. Are you telling me they will not want him to be their governor for another 4 years again? So you can't compare with other states that the civil servants in their state have been crying, going on strike time to time. So that alone is will give him a credible, will make the election to be credible in Ekiti State, and will give him opportunity to re-elect as the governor for the second time. And congratulations to him, he has been re-elected. So the people of our nations, the masses, should have it at the back of their mind that no amount of money that it is worthy of their votes. They should try to disengage themselves from vote buying.
Yes, that vote buying.
And to the political party,
yes,
they should also try to disengage themselves in buying votes.
Yes, that vote buying. I don't know how can it be, tackled. I don't know how it can be tackled. I observe.
Well, it can be tackled with by continuing enlightening people.
People will not be enlightened because people they want money that they want to eat. It is just.
But are you telling me that if they eat within 1 week, would they be hunger for another?
It is what they want at that time, particular point in time. Yes. I was at the polling unit.
In fact, I even heard that a day to election in Ekiti State, they saw one truck distributing bread.
Yes.
I saw it online too.
Yes.
No.
They will come. Then they will give you cash. Maybe for 5,000 or so.
Well, in that regard,
but now,
I will rather call on our security agencies that they should also please assist our nation.
But they will not now use cash. They don't use cash now. They do transfer on phone. That's why I said I don't know how. I don't know.
Nigeria, my country.
Well, historically now, briefly before we leave, voters are regarded in Ekiti voters. Yes, they are regarded as politically sophisticated. Yes, which I know. And independent-minded. Did this election reinforce or challenge that reputation?
In 2027.
Will it?
Well, let's hope.
You see, it is one thing to have book knowledge. It's another thing to have street sense.
Yes.
Ekiti people have book knowledge. But street sense, I don't think so. If not, a man like Fawashe will never have been the governor. Because I was a guest of Fawashe in 2014. I saw it live in the government house when everything was still going well with us, where he was sharing rice and chicken.
Chicken, yes. Stomach infrastructure.
Yeah, so in a state that has, if not the highest number of professors in Nigeria, so I was that kind of a person with a doubtful HND, even be the governor. So it's unfortunate that the people get what they deserve. And this is what happens. If you refuse to participate, if you so much love your state or your country, and you want a better system, and you think you have what it takes to help the system, I'm not contesting. The last time I contested the election was 2007, even though I've aspired afterwards. But I've not left my political party, and I contribute my own quota to building the party, to help in the elective or selective process of leadership or faces of the party. I will not sit in a gathering where a person with a dysfunctional education or that does not have what it takes to lead will emerge as a candidate and will not be part of it. Do you get it? So you don't have to contest election. But if you're a professor in a state like Ekiti or Osun or anywhere in Nigeria, and in your community, you are not involved in decision making, you are not involved in leadership process, any non-entity can just emerge as a leader, and you will get the result of a non-entity. So people should show interest in politics. You don't even have to be a politician, but you should be a community leader. You should influence what goes on in your community. But what do we have? The elites of this country, they are the most selfish. So there is a conspiracy among the elite. They don't care whether the system collapses or not, as far as I'm concerned. And that is why if you look at the majority of people that vote, they are the ordinary masses. And you're asking them not to collect money when they weaponize poverty.
Yes, that's
you see,
that's what I
a
was
man
saying.
wants to think about survival first before anything.
Yes.
And unfortunately, we politicians in this country, because I'm a politician, I can't deny it, on a large scale, we need to help the system. Because the people, it should be hard for the people to liberate themselves. Do you know why? Because give them a little so that they won't die. So that they can hope for tomorrow, a better tomorrow.
And they will take that little.
Yes. Don't let them go totally hungry so that they will not revolt. So be giving them a little. And like Joseph Nelly said in one of his magazines, that just throw maize to a dying chicken. This was a man, he demonstrated it before his people. He was picking the feather of a live chicken, not dead chicken. And he plucked off all the feathers. And when he got to the meeting, he dropped the chicken on the ground. He now threw maize to the chicken. What did you think happened? The chicken started eating the maize. So that is the system the bulk of our political system in Nigeria have adopted. It's only a few places, like a place like Oyo, and a few places that the leadership consider the people in their planning and execution. But in other places, it is like business. Government is the criminal enterprise.
Yes.
Take hold of the state treasury, start distributing like just to yourself, and give a little back to the people. In the next election, bring out the money and use it to still. So the people, we are saying this. I'm a politician. Some people might wonder, why are you saying this? I'm saying this because I know this system will never get well if it continue like this.
Yes.
So the people that decide our fate should not allow us politicians to deceive them.
Yes.
So we need to bring the truth to the open.
Yes,
if you want a better Nigeria, if you don't want bandits to kidnap you on the way to your village, stop collecting money to vote. That is the truth of the matter.
Yes,
because the best will not emerge through that process.
Yes, sir. I want to thank you, Honorable. All what you have said just boils down to poverty. Like I said, they will collect the money, no matter how. They will collect the money. I want to thank you, Honorable Rufem Josiah. Yes, he's a political analyst, and Honorable Okweyemi Akinade, Chairman, Interparty Advisory Council of your state chapter. Thank you very much for coming on the program.
Thank you.
And yes, of course, next week we'll come your way again with another edition. And of course, I know you will have been viewing us on our GoTV channel 105, Star Times channel 113. Of course, you will have been checking us up on Facebook, and that is at BCOS TV, Twitter at BCOS_TV, and our terrestrial channel 28 UHF. Yes, I want to thank my producer Yemi Alao, assistant producer Muti Ogunwale, supervising producer Bomi Oyedemi, and executive producer Dotun Olaito. Bimba Kombi is my name. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.